Hi, this is Peyton with Girls Gone Right.
And this is Meghan, and we are in my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, with one of my very good pals, Mr. Fred Weaver. How are you, friend?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are we?
We are in Lakeview Personal Fitness. My son is running around as he does. It's a gym that I do some personal training out of, and I do some training myself.
Good. And what kind of training is that?
I'm a professional boxer, so I do some strength and conditioning here and my traditional weightlifting, and I help people do the same as far as their fitness. Some people that compete, some people that are just looking to get in better shape and be a better version of themselves.
Love it.
I help them do that.
Love that.
So Fred, what is your background and experience?
I've been I started off competing in MMA in 2008. And from there, I got burned out on that, and I switched to boxing and kickboxing in about 2015, and that's what I've been doing since.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fruitful venture.
Just so you guys know, Fred gives the best hugs. He's known as the best hugger in Birmingham.
The
Is that
best
what I'm
hugger in
known
Birmingham.
as?
What a title you have.
I know.
I mean, I earned it the old-fashioned way, hugging a lot of people.
So when we met, gosh, we've probably known each other for 12, 14, maybe even 15 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of years.
How did you guys meet?
So we met through the music scene of Birmingham.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked security at Zydeco, one of the local music venues, and she was there a lot. And she has an actual personality and is not a vapid waste of time. So we became friends.
We
and
did.
she's dealt with my bullshit since.
I have. But it's not bullshit.
It's mostly bullshit. I know myself. Don't play with me.
So I know that you did security, but you've been like heavily around the music scene in Birmingham because you're friends with like everybody.
Yeah, I'm very entrenched in the music scene
Yeah.
for somebody who has no musical talent.
I know.
It's mostly because my introduction to like hanging around Southside, are you okay? I'll take that as a yes. Was through the group of local rappers and DJs and that crew. And that spawned into the hardcore scene, which I've always been into that music. So I would go to Cave 9 and like just hang out by myself because I liked the music and didn't know the people.
Yeah.
And later on, I became friends with a lot of people who were there at the same time. I just didn't know them. But just friendships with people who have talent that I enjoy.
You're easy to be friends with, I'll say that. I will say that. So you grew up in Birmingham.
Yes.
What part?
The west side, the
West
quote unquote bad side.
The bad side. Well, my dad grew up in Inslee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm in that area.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so what was it like growing up here?
I enjoyed it. Like I'm the youngest of four, so all of the older kids in the neighborhood knew me as Ronnie Pam and Nikhil's little brother. So I never really got picked on, no more than like my friends are just dickheads, as am I. So, birds of a
Naturally.
feather. I mean, if nobody's really messing with you, you don't really have friends.
Yeah.
If you just have people placating you and telling you you're great, you're probably not a great person to be around, in my opinion. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've had a good life. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
So what got you into boxing and MMA?
I was always a fan of it growing up. I remember watching Tyson fights. Nobody in my family boxed, but at the time, Tyson was the guy. So you had to watch him fight, whether it was 6 rounds or 30 seconds. You wanted to see it. And this was before YouTube and all of the stuff you could see
Pay-per-view.
instantly anyway. Yeah. So we crowd around the TV, watch that, and when MMA came along and blew up in the early aughts, me and my friends would get together. We'd all throw in $20. We'd watch the pay-per-views, talk a bunch of shit. I had some friends that did jiu-jitsu, so they were more versed in what was going on.
Yeah.
And a promotion was getting started, and they commissioned a friend of mine to make their shirts. And I guess they asked him if he knew anybody that would be looking to fight. And he asked me, and I said yes.
Wow.
Yeah, with no training. I went to a few jiu-jitsu classes just to do it. But yeah, I went into it not the way I would tell people to get into it.
Right.
And I was winning just because I'm athletic, and I was just fighting tough rednecks.
Yeah.
So like, local tough guy and like whatever that trained at a gym in his buddy's shed, but they just watch UFC the same way I did.
Yeah. So how did you transition from MMA to boxing, or have you just been doing both?
I'd always had interest with it.
Yeah.
I'd always trained with boxers to get my boxing better for MMA.
Yeah.
And again, I was offered an opportunity to take a boxing match, and I did it, which was my first boxing match ever was the match where I tore my bicep.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How long was that recovery?
It was about 6 weeks.
That's it?
Of just
It's
boredom.
not that bad.
It's not that bad. I was more bored than in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the time I was running security at Saturn, a local music venue, and I lived about 5 miles from there. So every day I was out just purely because I was bored. I would walk to Saturn, clean the floors of the venue, and then walk back home just to be doing something because I cannot live.
Sit still. It's hard.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
I've
both are
I've
like
always
that.
had multiple jobs. I'm
Yeah.
not comfortable with just
Hustler.
one job.
Yeah.
So, just to be doing something. There's only so much TV I can watch.
Yeah.
I love watching TV, but at a point, I feel like a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Can we cuss on this? Because I cuss a lot.
Oh, yeah.
No, feel
Fucking
free.
bullshit, dick bullshit. Get them all out of the way.
Yeah, just had to get it out.
I'm not good at like doing nothing.
Yeah.
So, that was what I did to
It's a
stay
good quality.
busy. Yeah, I think so.
So what has been your biggest achievement in that career?
My biggest, I fought a couple of times in Las Vegas, which is known as the Mecca of fighting. It was smaller shows, but to me, like, I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I got my first knockout in MMA was in Las Vegas. My first actual, like, hit him and he's
Wow.
done. That was in Las Vegas, so that was cool.
How did that feel? Like the moment that you knocked out someone and you won, like what was that moment like?
It's the same every time, and I'm straight edge. I've never done a drug in my life. I don't drink alcohol, but I understand chasing the dragon.
Yeah.
Like, you want to, like, that's the high.
Yeah.
Away from raising that boy, it's the high that you chase every time. And I'm fortunate to be in a position to still be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, at
awesome.
41 years old.
It's incredible.
You don't look 41, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm a great guy.
So, just to kind of pivot, what cultural shifts have you seen growing up as a black man in Birmingham to now?
A lot more they labeled it as inclusivity.
Yeah. What does that mean to you?
It means people paying attention to other people's problems instead of minding their own business.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just me.
I could agree.
Yeah, I'm very much a mind your own business, handle your business, do your job, go home, take care of yourself, take care of yours person. I don't like when other people are in my business, whether it's public or private. That's just how I am.
You're human.
Yeah. Am I though?
I don't know.
I'll take it.
You're
Whatever
pretty-
I am.
you're
I'm,
pretty inhuman.
Whatever I am, it ain't changing.
Yeah. Have you seen any different treatment or anything since kind of this woke ideology has come about?
You
in our
mean when
culture?
people got real soft and started getting on my nerves more?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of placating.
Yeah.
As far as me, a lot of people like trying to let me know that, hey, I'm on your side. Like, I don't need
care.
you on my side. I don't
Yeah.
care, and I don't know you, and I don't want to know you. I know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends, and that's a personal choice that I made a long time ago because that's what works for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it's more of like, or do you feel they come at you and when they say those things is like pity almost?
It depends on the demographic that person is from. Like,
Yeah.
I work with, it's all circles. That's all life is, different circles of people. I'm friends with millionaires, and I'm friends with people who don't know how they're gonna pay their bills.
Sure.
So it's more so, and I don't take anything as somebody taking pity on me because I don't acknowledge that, whether
Yeah.
they're offering it or not.
Good.
Well, it's just more people just wanting to be on the good side of whatever I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nothing special, nobody's special,
Yeah.
but I don't know, people just decide that I need their support or the community needs their support, and that's all they want to talk about, and I just can't deal with that.
Yeah. Have you noticed any, like, of the friends that you do have, or maybe acquaintances that you see often, that kind of abide by that
A
wokeness?
lot of them.
Do they
I
treat
just-
you any different? Or do you
They
feel like
try
they're careful with what they say?
I say the same offhanded, stupid, irreverent things
Yeah.
that I've always said. Just because your mind frame shifted doesn't mean that mine did, and it doesn't mean that I have to change who I am, or saying the obvious, not serious, irreverent bullshit that I've always said, or some version of, just because it all of a sudden offends you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to answer your question, yes, I've seen it, and it doesn't really affect anything. If somebody doesn't like the things I say, then they don't have to talk to me.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how did it make you feel when all of the BLM riots were going on and a lot of Black people were coming out saying that they were the victim of everything and they were the victim of society and that society has fallen? How did that make you feel?
Society hasn't fallen, we're still here.
Yeah.
Society shifted, and I can't bring myself to play the victim card because I'm not a victim. I don't like when people play the victim card. Bullshit has happened to people, absolutely, but not saying that race hasn't played a role in it, because it obviously have. Look at the history, look at where we are. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we're here today, and we're past most of that.
Yep.
That backwoods mentality of someone being better than someone else because of their race does exist, and those people live in the fucking woods.
Yeah.
So to act like that's the prevailing mentality is, in my experience, like I said, I'm in a lot of circles,
Yeah.
and it's just not true.
Yeah. I think it's like the mindset and the perception that these groups, these people that claim that they're the victims, they think they have unequal opportunity because so and so. And I think a lot of it falls down to personal responsibility. And you seem
Yeah.
like you have personal responsibility. You want to work. And it's the people that have fallen to, they want to play the victim card. They don't want to do those things. So therefore they have to jump to, I'm the victim.
Yeah, like it's like walking into a room. If I walk into a room full of white people, I don't think, oh shit, I'm the only Black person here. Like if I walk into a room full of white people, like, yeah, Fred's here, you're fucking welcome. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Race exists. Yeah, obviously I have fucking eyes and
Yeah.
whatever, but it doesn't affect anything I do. Like
Yeah.
I have a mixed son. He is fucking amazing.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
So,
cute.
I mean,
I think it's almost
fun of the guy.
racist when people bring race into the question. Like if we don't see color, then why are we
Why are we
separating
always
those
talking
people
about it?
and saying that it makes them people have unequal opportunities? Like I think that is essentially racist by having these programs, wanting to give reparations and things like that, because essentially then we are seeing race and then we are dividing people by race, which is exactly what we're trying to get away from.
Yeah, it's playing both sides of the coin. That's what the powers that be do. That's what they do. They put the idea in people's head. If they just lived where they are, like the general public is boots on the ground. If you just lived here and looked around and tried to live your life instead of fitting some caricature of a personality, then you realize that, yeah, the world's not that fucking bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is, and people just want things given to them instead of working for it.
Yeah.
But you know,
I
I
think-
don't control other people.
Yeah, I think we are just in a culture where people, like you said, like people don't want to have to work hard to get what they want out of life. Like some people want to dream big, and then when things get hard, it's automatically because I'm a victim or I just
Yeah.
didn't get handed to me. So it's not fair. But if you want a different dream, or you
There's
want
a
a
state of
different
mind.
path,
I mean, I've been behind my whole fucking life. Well, comparatively behind.
Yeah.
I spent the first 20 or so years of my life, like only dealing with people who are of similar financial status and backgrounds as me, like kids that grew up in the projects. We really don't have shit, but compared to each other, like we were fine until I started hanging around the South Side with people who like may have come from something of fiscal means, and seeing that, like, that's when I became really cynical. I realized that recently, seeing people who could like go to school, who could do this, could do that, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you complaining to me? Like, yeah, I'm gonna
That's
leave.
such a good point.
I'm gonna
That's
leave the
such a
fountain
good
and go
point.
back to the fucking projects. I'm happy. Why aren't you happy?
Because
So-
it's like not, they're used to that lifestyle of getting everything they want, and
Yeah.
that's not enough because it's not, that stuff that they want has no meaning.
Yeah.
It's not fulfilling. I think when you have less, you're almost more grateful for what you have.
Yeah, I'm happy for
You,
every
you
little
learn to be
piece I got.
grateful because you put in hard work and it builds character and you have grit. And I think grit is something that separates you from like, a lot of people. Like you have grit. It sounds like you have grit. And that is like a character trait that is so crucial throughout your lifespan, because I think that grit, that hard work that you put into making your dreams happen, to making, like creating your success, what you define as successful, like that takes grit. And the people that haven't give it to them don't know what that feels like.
Yes.
And that grit is like a part of pride. Like you have that
Yeah.
sense of pride. They don't know what that feels like. So they just, whatever they're searching for, they're never going to find it. And it's just never enough.
Yeah, that's true. That applies to a lot of things, and like part of why I still fight, and what I missed when I was taking a break from fighting, when I was retired, was like getting ready for fights and just pushing myself physically and mentally, and more so mentally, because the physical part I was always doing, because I have no other hobbies besides working out and watching TV, and I do one more than the other. But like just the having my brain set like, all right, I have 3 weeks to push myself, and then I get to do the thing that I enjoy more than almost any other thing on this planet, which is fighting a grown man.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking caveman. It is what it is. But yeah, just the grit is.
Yeah.
Some people, it's not a thing you're born with. Like I don't want to say I've always pictured myself doing this kind of thing as a job, but it just feels right. It's
Yeah.
weird to not have it. Like I said
Yeah.
before, it's weird to not. I'm nervous if I only have one job.
Yeah.
Because what if I lose this job? Then what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So if I have multiple jobs, if I lose a job, just
Yeah.
work the other jobs more.
Let's go to the other one.
Yeah.
That's such a good point, though, that we harped on earlier, that people that came from maybe something or a little of something are the ones complaining about what others don't have.
Yeah,
So it's like, why are you pointing out something that doesn't really concern you?
mind your business.
Mind your business.
Big fan of minding your business.
Mind your P's and Q's.
Yes.
So, is he in school yet?
Yes, he just started first grade.
Is he in public school?
Yes.
Have you seen anything as far as like any sort of like indoctrination in his education yet, or do you fear that?
I mean, it's on me to raise my son the way I want to raise him. He's there, whatever amount of hours a day, whatever amount of hours a week, but it's on me to make him a person.
Yeah. Amen.
Like he can,
That's good
make your
parenting.
grades,
Yeah.
and like my mom raised me by herself, so like
Yeah.
I am a lot like my mom. I work a lot. Some would say too much. I have a smart fucking mouth, and I mind my own business.
Yeah.
So I'm my mother's son.
Well, and your mom worked hard, obviously, to provide for you and your
Yeah.
siblings, and that rubbed off on you. And it's very apparent and it's very obvious that you work hard to make sure that he's got a good life, and that you have a good life.
Yeah.
And he's going to learn that from you,
Yeah.
and that you're instilling the values that you learn from your mother into him. And it's just like you like to say, a legacy that carries on in life. Are you fearful of any sort of indoctrination education that he's going to learn like in the future?
I mean, like I said, like he's there and he'll hear what they say.
Yeah.
Just like I did when I was a kid. But
Yeah.
he's gonna be who he's gonna be, and he's gonna be who me and his mother make him.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that's a good parenting mindset, and really, you can drop your kid off at school, and yes, they have 8 hours or something like that. How much time they spend in a classroom, and you don't really get to control what they're learning, what they're hearing. That's just it's the education
I
system.
talk to my son.
Yeah, but-
Even now, he's
Yeah.
6. I talk to him. Where they teach you this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
But, like,
and those values though, like that gets learned from home. If you rely on the school system or the government to teach your child
Raise
values,
your
that's
child.
wrong.
yeah, they're
Like,
not
you should be
raising
the
my
one-
child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
They're-
teaching him some things and
Yeah.
teaching him core skills at this
Yeah,
point.
and the parents teach them values, and I think that's where a lot of people get it flip-flopped. Is like, well, I'm going to send my kid to school, and then when they come home, it's iPad time, and I'm too busy. I'm a wine mom. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
It's like I need to unwind from work. A lot of people aren't spending that time connecting with their child,
Yeah.
doing those because it's still Maslow's hierarchy of need, right? Like children, no matter how old they are, like when they come home from school, they need their parents, and that part is
Yeah.
really crucial for childhood development. And a lot of people are kind of just taking their foot off the brakes. They were at school all day. I'm just gonna like let them
Yeah.
go and do whatever in their room and not know who my kid is. And I think that's
No.
such a foolish thing because you're right, that values do get instilled at home.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have as much time with him as I would like.
Yeah.
But when I'm with him, I'm with him.
Yeah.
Like, he has to deal with me
Quality
and my
time.
bullshit. Like, he could have been playing with his video game this whole time. He's just been running around, and I prefer him to just keep running around.
Yeah.
Just be a little lunatic.
Yeah, be
He's not-
curious, be a kid.
Yeah. He's figuring stuff out.
So good. It just sounds. This is the first time I've met him,
Yes.
and this is the first time I've seen you with him,
Yeah.
and it's a different thing because I'm used to seeing you like, in your rock and roll element, like being at the
Whatever I
festivals
am.
and stuff. So it's like you're still Fred, but you're like dad mode Fred, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't know.
I like being a dad.
It's so
Being a
good.
dad is
Like I
tight.
love seeing it.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing that I've ever done.
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
I like the guy.
He's all
You
right.
know, he's pretty cool.
So like, what's you say you talk to him and like when he comes home from school, like you spend that time with him. So what does an afternoon look like with him when he comes home?
Generally, just hang out, whatever he's into at the time. I'll let him play his games for a little bit, but just to wind down. But at some point, like, we just talk, we draw, we just chit chat. He tells me about whatever's going on at school.
awesome, yeah.
How's his mom doing? How are the animals? We just talk.
Yeah.
I always want him to be comfortable talking to me. Like, I could tell my mom anything. And I want him to have that relationship with me.
Yeah.
So it's super important to me just to have a relationship with him, period, but also a good relationship.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't around and I didn't know the guy. Nothing against him, he made his own choices. I turned out okay. So I want him to have a better life with both parents who he knows love them and he can talk to about anything that may arise in life.
Yeah. Dads are like one of the most most important role. I feel like you get some out of each parent, but like my dad, I'm so close with, and I think like it's so hard to see other people like when they don't have like that father figure because it is so important to have that. Like I
Yeah.
think it instills so many values that your mom can't do because we know men
Yeah.
and women are different. But I love that you say that like you talk to your son and like I'm the same way with my dad. Like I can tell that man anything. Like it's such open communication, and I think it's because like when we were little, like he was always like about the chit chatting and like asking me how school was and like all of the gossip,
Yeah.
all the school gossip. It's like those little things that make a difference in the future and makes a good father. And like that is like a role that no one else can fill in a child's life, and it makes such a big difference, especially like in their adult life. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm fortunate to have 3 older siblings who like helped my mom. Like I said, she worked a lot, so it was on them to take care of baby brother. So I just went around with them, and I had good, even when they were just running around hanging out with their friends, they weren't doing anything outlandish. So I could always just go and sit in the corner and play video games or play pool or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? I asked you earlier what you thought inclusivity meant. What do you think woke means?
Overly sensitive, for one, looking to be offended.
Yeah.
These are all attributes, not necessarily a definition of the word.
Sure.
But annoying,
Yeah.
that's personal to me.
Yeah.
But woke, just looking for problems, just
Yeah.
looking for something to complain about. I mean, good or bad, mostly irreverent, but just something to complain about.
Yeah.
It's like the staff of a newspaper that has no headlines. Just pull something up.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
I know, I'm great, right?
You are
I'm so
pretty
good
great.
at words. I should write a book.
You should. You should write a book, Fred.
I feel like the woke just means they don't live in reality.
Yeah.
They don't live on this planet.
fantasy.
It's a fantasy world. Nothing's real. They come up with all these terms of things that don't exist and then they make it a thing. Like there's no such thing. No, I'm not going to say it. YouTube. But they just come up with things that are just not real, and then everyone else has to listen to it.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
all have to live in their fake reality that they created.
And they get so mad when you don't agree or you don't believe that. And
Yeah.
what happened to agree to disagree? Or what happened to being able to just think freely?
I have plenty of friends who we don't feel the same way about things,
Yeah.
but we're still friends.
Yeah.
We either agree to disagree or we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with having a disagreement with a friend. It's not an argument.
Yeah.
It's not an event. It's not a friendship ender. It's
Yeah.
just a disagreement.
Yeah.
No matter what the topic is. And a lot of people can't fathom someone disagreeing with you and not being a fucking mortal enemy. It's like, it's weird.
It's like they want diversity, but they don't want, because when it's a disagreement, they don't want that kind of diversity. They're like,
I want
no, not that
diversity
kind.
on my terms only.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've lost a few friends because of that.
Were they really friends though?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
There's a difference between friends and
We're
people
friends,
you know.
friends respect your opinion.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to have that conversation, that's fine, but respect me.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't respect your opinion, it's just not a friend.
Yeah, as hard as it's been to learn that and accept that, I have. And you just have to move on from it.
Yeah. You have to live your life.
Yeah, I can't worry about
And
what
we
you
are in
think.
America where you can live your life however the fuck you want to do that.
Amen.
Thumbs up.
Fred Weaver for president.
It's been a hashtag for a while. I'm still not president. I'm kind of pissed about it, but
I mean,
whatever.
how do we change this?
I don't know.
Well, I'm so glad that we made it down here.
Yeah.
And number one, got to see you. Number
Yes.
two, let's flip flop that. Number one, got to hug you. Number two, got to see you. And I'm glad that you agreed to do this with us.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. Well, it comes from my random internet interactions. Like, hey, when are you ready to have me as a guest?
I know. We're like,
Well,
that
hey,
was
we'll be down, actually.
yeah. He said, when are you going to have me on? I'm like,
Fine.
you really
We'll
want
do
to?
it. No, I'm so glad that we were able to have you on, because now I got to come meet Megan's parents.
I haven't
And that's
even
a
met
huge
your parents.
step.
You met my mom,
Did I hit on her?
probably.
Wasn't likely. Sounds like me.
You've definitely met my mom, for sure.
They're great.
I'll meet her again.
I'll meet her again.
Okay.
I'm single.
Oh my gosh, yeah, her parents look great for their age, and
Yeah.
I think I won them over. It's great because now I've never met her parents. I feel like that's so
I know,
crucial.
we're getting married.
Well,
now,
Yes,
it's fine.
they approve. I think I got the blessing.
So happy for you.
Oh, we just do what we can.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to come home to Birmingham and see, people like you, friends like you, and be able to have these kinds of open conversations and do it.
Really
So,
open conversations.
really open. But love you, friend.
I love you, dear. I'm so
Love
happy
you.
to see you, and very nice to finally
Yeah,
meet you.
I don't know if I love you yet, but it's very nice
you
meeting you.
will. Oh, you're gonna.
Well, you're gonna. Well, I like the confidence.
You
I
will.
believe in myself.
Oh, wait. We'll get the hug. She'll get the hug.
I'll give her a hug. I mean, I have no problem with that.
We'll do it. All right. Love
do
you,
it.
friend.
Love you, dear.
Love you, friend.
Good to see you.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, you have to say thanks for watching Girls Gone Right.
Yeah.
We'll let you do
Thanks
it.
for watching Girls Gone Right.
Bye, guys.
Just us girls.
Yeah.